Hey guys, how's it going? Elliot here again. In today's video, we are going to be refurbishing a Game Boy Pocket. Now this is one that I've done in a previous video. The reason I'm showing this is because I've done quite a few of these Let's Refurbs at this point. I've also done quite a few of these specific grey models. It's really my favourite model. It's actually to kind of copy the DMG that first came out. This is another Game Boy that I'm going to be doing a video on. I'm going to do a complete refurbish of this, including like de-yellowing the shell, and then I'm going to be modding it. So I'm going to go through that whole process. I'm going to put a touch sensor as well for an RGB backlight, which is going to be really cool. So I'll show you all of that in a future video, but stay tuned for that. But as you can see, it's kind of meant to copy this. It was originally that color on the front, so you'll just have to believe me. But I really like these Game Boys. Picking them up isn't the easiest of thing, specifically because they're Japanese models. They only came out in Japan. They have made their way into different countries, but buying them from those countries, like the UK for example, makes them very expensive. You usually can't find these for cheaper than around £50, so I think it's really expensive. There's also two different models. There's one with the power indicator, and then there's one without. So the one that I'm going to be doing in today's video has the power indicator, which is quite cool. So without any further ado, let's get into that. As I mentioned before, let me know how you want me to switch this up. I know you guys really enjoy the Let's Refurbs, and I've actually trying to somewhat been moving away from Game Boys and doing like Walkmans and stuff like that, so I definitely urge you to check those out. I've also done Mega Ducks and other fake consoles, so it'd be really cool if you guys could leave suggestions as to what it is that you want to see. So I managed to get this Game Boy for a really generous £17, and that is delivered from Japan. As you can see in the listing, it says 4 parts or not working, and it says no battery cover. There is a dot on the screen, which is kind of the typical Japan for you wording. Here's a couple of the pictures of the item. As you can see, it's missing the battery cover. I have got a couple of others which I've already shown you, and you can see that it's not in too bad condition, other than that screen as well. But let's try and make it look like that. Got a spare battery cover from, well, let's not talk about that. Put some batteries in, let's see if it actually works. Hey! I'm also going to use the screen lens from the old Game Boy. hopefully you have enjoyed the little kind of cleaning segment. Now we're going to go ahead and test it. I think it came out looking really, really nice. This obviously has been treated and used nicely. You can always tell when it's been quite well used because the label on the printed A here has rubbed off. Not the A specifically, but you know what I mean. When the letters have rubbed off and whatnot, and there's some kind of wear there. The screen lens isn't glued down, although it seems to kind of be holding its place in at the moment. The battery cover is a slightly different tint, which isn't a big deal, but I could eventually yellow it if I wanted to. The sticker's kind of just deteriorating around the side, but again, not a big deal. I paid £17 for this, which is just such a good price, and the only thing I used was just spare parts. Really, it was just the spare screen lens and the battery cover from a previous one, and a replacement polarizer, and that's pretty much it. I always get asked what I use in the videos. I use just Mr. Sheen, which is literally just an all-surface, multi-surface polish. I have quite a lot of people messaging me on Instagram and stuff like, where do I get Mr. Sheen from? If you can't get Mr. Sheen specifically, then just use a multi-surface polish. It's literally just wood, glass, metal, plastic. That's why it works so well on this. It also gives it a nice smell, especially old consoles which have been sat in attics and collected loads of dust. Don't tend to smell too nice. So if you get yourself some multi-surface polish, not limited to Mr. Sheen, other brands are available. And I'm not sponsored by Mr. Sheen, although if anybody watching works for Mr. Sheen and wants to give me a sponsorship, by this time I must have sold you like a good couple hundred cans, because I always mention it in my videos. So yeah, go ahead and sponsor me, please, Mr. Sheen. How do I jump in this? I keep dying. I have no idea how to play this game. I just grabbed it from the top of my pile, but how do I... Can I shoot? How do I... Oh, God. The movement's so quick. This is a odd world. It certainly is an odd game. So we've got to feed the paramites, whatever that is. Oh. Oh, God. Pull lever. I'm determined to pass this now. Okay, we're not even going to go there. As you can see, it works absolutely fine. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I also did an intro with my friend Oliver. Ollie, thank you very much for doing the intro music for me. I hope you guys have enjoyed that intro. If you don't like it, let me know, and potentially I'll get rid of it. The music that I used in this was by a really, really talented artist called, I'm not actually entirely sure how to pronounce the name. I think it's like Dilla. It's D-Y-A-L-L-A or Dilla. I always leave the links to the music that I use in the description, so go ahead and check that out. If you've actually watched to this point of the video, then thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it. And I will catch you in the next video. Peace.